Welcome, audience. Good afternoon, respected teacher, guests, and proud parents and beloved student. Welcome to Cikal Bincang-Bincang session 18. Okay, one of the activities in our playground of Cikal Learning event. Thank you for coming today. First, let me introduce myself. I'm DK and I will be your moderator for this session. Before we begin the student activity, let me give you a picture of the expect for the next hour. In this session, we have Marza, Arik, and Adit. Okay, they are from year 10, Cikal Setu, right? And will lead you in their activity where they will have a discussion with the title of Rooftop Garden. Okay, during this session, it is encouraged that the audience participates in the activities. Please write down any question you have for our speaker through the chat feature of Zoom or YouTube. And let's give a round of applause and warm welcome to our student, Marza, Arik, Adit. The time is yours.
Hello everyone. As you know, my name is Marza Ilyas and I'm from Year 10 Sekolah Cikal. And today we're going to talk about personal project and the challenges that we face. And for those who don't know what PP is, personal project is a project to do what you want to do, and it could be seen as the exclamation mark that goes at the end of MYP experience. And it's also an opportunity for you to indulge a passion and also demonstrate the skill that you develop through the year. Yeah, so the first topic that we're going to talk is about our personal project and our goal. Yeah, so my personal project is creating a roof garden and also making 2 videos about the step to make the roof garden and also explaining the impact of the roof garden. And my goal is to encourage people to be more aware of the air pollution and also telling them that the roof garden is a way to reduce air pollution, because as we know, air pollution is dangerous towards us and also towards the environment. And based on the research, roof garden could also reduce air pollution if we pick the specific plants. And I also need to encourage people to make the roof garden because the roof garden impact has a certain radius, and it cannot impact the whole community. So it takes a lot of roof garden to impact a large radius. And next, I'm gonna pass it to Adit. So Adit, what is your personal project and what is your goal?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Aditya Ramadhani Swara. I'm also from year 10 Cikal Setu. My personal project is making tutorial videos of cooking healthy food. And my goal for this project is to encourage teenagers around my age to eat healthier during quarantine. I chose this goal because I noticed that I myself have been eating more unhealthy during quarantine, and I also did a survey towards my friends, and majority also stated that they have been eating more unhealthy during quarantine. Okay, now I'm gonna pass it to Arik. Okay, Arik, can you explain your project?
Okay, hello, my name is Arigato Hadifasa, and for this personal project, my project is called Today Podcast, which is an abbreviation for Teenagers on Drugs Abuse Youthful. So the podcast is about encouraging teenagers to not use drugs. For my project goal, my goal is to be able to educate teenagers in all of Indonesia about the massive drug spread out and the impact of the drugs itself to a teenager during the present days by creating an educative podcast to share the education behind the drugs abuse on teenagers. For a global context, I choose identities and relationships with the strand of physical, psychological, and social development, transitions, health and well-being, and lifestyle choice. And I think that by this podcast, it's very interesting because I'm making this podcast as an educative source to make teenagers more aware about the surroundings about drugs abuse. So now I will pass it to Marza. What is the next question, Marza?
So yeah, as we know, personal project, it takes a lot of time and there is a lot of challenges and pressure. So now next we're going to talk about the challenges or obstacles that we face during the personal project. And for me, this the challenges and the obstacle is we have wait yeah, the challenges that all of us have similar is mostly time management, because personal project takes 1 semester to finish all of it, and besides personal project there is still schoolwork. Yeah, and if you don't really make a timeline and you don't really organize your work, and there is a lot of there is a lot of work feeling, and sometimes it's just miss the deadline. And for me personally, my challenges is when taking the action, because I decided to create a roof garden, and before I started to create the roof garden, I don't really have a lot of information about plants and about the roof garden. And I also make a roof garden from the empty space, and I try to do it on short time I because the timeline, I don't really follow my timeline that I make. Yeah, so it's not really what I expected. Yeah, that's all for the challenges. And what about you, Adit?
Throughout this personal project, I had a couple of challenges also. Uh, One of my challenges was also time management, because I think one of the effects was the pandemic and online learning. So it made it like kind of hard to keep track and not procrastinate because I'm learning from home. Other than this, one of the challenges that I faced was recording the videos. So as you know, I created a couple of tutorial videos of cooking, but one of the challenge was I used the camera holder to get a point of view shot, right? So it'll be more detailed. However, the camera holder that I used was very faulty, which meant it sometimes moved by itself a lot, so which ruins the video. So I overcome this by hold recording it with my bare hands, so it'll be more sturdy and not faulty. Other than recording it, I also had problems with transferring the data from my camera to my laptop. Reason being is because the data was too big. And yeah, so how I overcome this challenge was I uploaded the raw footage directly to YouTube first. Then from that, I downloaded it to my laptop so I could edit it on my laptop later. Then other than this, also I've been finding the recipes were not easy. That's because I cooked before, like I had experience in cooking. However, I didn't really specifically cook healthy food. So that's why finding the recipes were not easy to do. I believe that's all the challenges I faced throughout this project. Okay, what about you, Arik?
Yeah, so actually same with Marza and same with Adit. Actually same with Marza. Most of my challenges are mostly on time management skills. Because during we when we work on the personal project, we also have to focus on our school also. So we have to manage the time very organized. And then second is about the challenges when I make the question for the speaker, because actually the guest, one of the guests is one of the guests has already, he have some contribution with drugs abuse, and when I ask some questions, I feel a little nervous because I was scared if my question offend the guest and make the situation uncomfortable. So that is the challenges. And yeah, I think that the two of the essentials are the one that I face a lot during the personal project. So I think that if I manage my time more wisely, uh, you know, the project will be more better because I was not working the project on a rush. Yeah, I think that's all. So yes, Marja, I think we should apa namanya? We should move on to the next question.
Okay, so yeah, for the next topic is how to overcome your challenges, because yeah, we all have the same challenge, which is time management, and maybe some people have different way to overcome it. Well, for me, I don't really overcome my challenge because it's kind of late, and yeah, all I do is like making my work more organized, make a really simple timeline that could remind me of the due date and my work, and also prioritize which work it's more important. Like when you are doing personal project, you also have school work, and sometimes you have to see it's which is more important and which of the homework you should prioritize first. And it really helps because it make the timeline more organized, and it could also make your work more not organized. Wait, I mean more organized, and yeah, apa kayak it's like so your work is not feeling, and you have a lot of time to spend on the personal project. Yeah, and back to you, Adit, about your how to overcome your challenges.
Okay, so as I stated before, one of my biggest challenges was doing the personal project on time. That was because I procrastinated a lot during this personal project. However, I overcome this problem by simply making a timeline. I made a timeline from the start of my project, which was planning the possible ideas I could do for this personal project, all the way to the end, which was submitting the report, which I believe was in March 4th. So in that timeline, I put the steps I did and also when I need to do it in order to do my task on time. So I would not submit it late or anything like that. And so also I would not rush it. Other than that timeline, I believe my supervisor also helped me a lot during this project because she assisted me on the task that I needed to do and what time I needed to do it. And yeah, so she was very helpful towards this personal project. And as for the finding the recipes, I meant I managed to found this book about ketogenic cooking. So I chose this book as my main source because the recipes look delicious and also it was very healthy from the nutritional facts that I read. And also it wasn't really that hard to create the dishes. Okay. Uh, Now to you, Arik.
Okay, so to overcome my challenges is mostly on time management, meaning that I have to manage my time more wisely so that before the personal project has going on. Previously, I have made a calendar to set my achievement every month. So on example, like on November, my target is to find the speakers and then find the studios. And then December, I start to search the podcast equipment, and then trying to having recording for the episodes. So I guess that by calendar, it really makes your schedule more organized. And then I think that second, besides making calendar, I think I will have the same solution with Adit, which is your supervisor. So perhaps that if you maintain a very close relationship with your supervisor, if you have any difficulties or challenges, you might consider to contact your supervisor to help your problem, and they will definitely sort the problem out and will apparently help you to overcome the problem. So I guess that by setting a calendar before you make the project and then maintaining a close relationship with your supervisor, it really makes the project be flowing very well. So Marza, let's go with the next question.
Yeah, so we know that we know how to overcome our challenges, and yeah, we have a lot of challenge during personal project. But now the question is, what is the hardest process during the personal project? Well, people have different thoughts about the hardest process because they all have different topics. And for me, the hardest process is when making the roof garden, because I only make it like 5 days. Yeah, 3 or 5 days. I kind of forgot. And the material, it came late, so I have to delay the time of making my roof garden. And also, it takes a lot of time, and I need to time lapse the video with my phone. And sometimes my phone battery runs out, so I need to pause and I need to start where I left things off. The other hardest part is when it's part of the process of action, because it's when I'm trying to maintain my plants, because maintaining the plant is very important. So you know the result of the roof garden, and yeah, you want the result to be good. So you need to maintain the plant every morning and every night, so the plant could stay in good shape. That's all. And what about you, Adit?
For the hardest part for during my project, I believe it was editing the video. So as you know, I uploaded it to YouTube as the tutorial videos, right? But I had to edit it first. Editing was hard because there were not a lot, but there were a few that clips that were not useful. So I had to cut it out. And yeah, other than that, I also had to put subtitles in the video because I wanted to put like a background music in the video, so it'll be more interesting to my audience to watch. And yeah, other than this, I believe the other hardest part for me was keeping track of the time, because it wasn't really easy to do my personal project. And other than that, there were also other summatives that I had to do during the timeline. And I would say the easiest part for my project was probably uploading it to YouTube, because it's not that hard to do it after I edited the video. Okay, to you, Arik.
So actually, the hardest part that I have to deal during the personal project is the hardest process is actually when writing down the reports, and then also what else? Oh, when I make the questions, it's very hard because I have to, I have to keep the questions to be uh, to be to be very polite so that I will not offend anyone, because drugs is a very serious topic. And then next is writing the report. That is very hard because you have to you have to tell your stories from the beginning until the end when you start your personal project. And that is very hard for me because during the personal project itself, uh, I was very rarely to to write what uh, I was very rarely to make to make data of myself. What do I have accomplished in each month, and I think that the report is actually also a hard one, and also the uploading process because the first episode I uploaded on a internet cafe. So previously, I don't have any computer at my home, and then my laptop is doesn't have enough storage. So I decided to go to an internet cafe, and then when I uploaded the video, it turns out that I have to spend 5 hours to wait until the video uploaded. It was very tiring, but in the end, I was very happy because the video got uploaded to YouTube. That is for the hardest part, and then for the easiest part, I think that the easiest one is that when I promote the podcast. So I make my personal branding, and then such as the logo, and then the goals and stuff, and then I promote it to my friends to post it on their Instagram stories. And sooner after that, most of my viewers also watching the video. So I think that the most easiest part and also the fun part is during the promoting the podcast. I think that's all, Marza. Can move to the next question.
Yes, because we have talked about the hardest part in personal project. So now we're going to talk about what we think the easiest part of the personal project. Yeah, for me, the easiest part is making the report, and maybe for some people, making the report is kind of difficult. But for me, making the report is easy because you just need to reflect on what you've done during the personal project, like from the beginning when you started to make the planning, meeting the expert, and making the action. Yeah, so you just need to reflect on what you did. And besides that, yeah, it's all easy. But for me, yeah, wait, I think besides the report, the the other stuff is easy, and yeah, I think only the action is kind of difficult for me. Yeah. Next, Adit, about the easiest part of the PP.
Yeah. So for the easiest part of my project, as I said before, one of them was uploading it to YouTube because it was just with a click of a button and it was uploaded even though it took a while. And I believe other than the uploading it, another easy part was shopping for the ingredients. That was because the ingredients that I use for my meals were very easy to find. I just went to a supermarket and I got them. So that was also so easy. Other than this, I believe the other easy part of my video were making the thumbnails. So I made for all my videos, I made a thumbnail for them so it will attract more attention. And I used Canva to make it. Yeah, it was very easy to make. And other than that, also the last one was the nutritional facts that I put on the end of the video. Those were, I believe, those were the easiest part in making this. And last but not least, also I made the short survey, as I said before, when I stated my goal. I made the short survey to ask my friends whether they have eat more healthy or unhealthy during the quarantine, and majority stated they eat it more unhealthy during quarantine. The survey was easy to make because I believe there were only like 2 questions, and yeah, so I just shared it to my friends. Yeah. I believe, yeah, those were the easiest part for this personal project. To you, Arik.
Yeah. So as I previously mentioned before, I think that the most easiest part is when I promote the podcast to my friends, my families, by posting on my friends' Instagram stories. But other than that, I also have the easiest part that I also experience during the personal project process, which is on recording, not recording, but uh, when I searching for the studios. I think that is the easiest part because I think that it's very fun when I have to compare, several studios that I have in common to be the setting for where I shoot my recording for the podcast. I think that's all for the easiest part. And back to you, Marza.
Yeah, so because personal project takes 1 semester, so we all must learn some skills that we develop through the personal project. Now we're going to talk about the skill or maybe IB profile and skill development that we learn during the personal project. So I have like about 3 skill and IB profile development. Yeah, which is first as a risk taker because I decided to make a roof garden. And before I make this project, I don't know much about plant. And I don't even like the texture of soil and yeah, the soil. So I kind of challenged myself to create this project, and I also create the roof garden in scratch for 3 days. And the next skills is I also demonstrate knowledge to explore concepts, ideas, and issues that has local and global significance, such as air pollution. And in doing so, I acquire in-depth knowledge and develop understanding across a broad and balanced range of disciplines. And the last ability is communicator because during personal project, we must communicate a lot to our like supervisor, experts, and other people like our parents and teachers because to communicate, we can gain a lot of information. And yeah, so during my personal project, I use my communicator skills when I'm talking to my expertise and also talking to my supervisor when I'm trying to get their suggestion for my roof garden. And yeah, what about you, Adit? The skill that you gain?
Okay. So for my IB profile and skills development, um, I was also like Marza. One of them was a communicator. So I have communicated a lot during my project with my family members, supervisors, expert, and also my friends. This is because my project was a huge and long-term one, which means that I needed other people's ideas on it. So that means I had to communicate a lot with many people. Other than being a communicator, I was also very open-minded during this project, as that is because during this project, I didn't only listen to my own ideas, but I also listened to other people's ideas, such as my friends, family members, experts, and also my PP supervisor on how could I improve my project and make it more interesting towards my viewers. What about you, Arik?
So for my IB profile and skills development, I will say that uh, the 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 profile that suits me a lot are open-minded and communicators. Why open-minded? Because when I create the podcast and I hear what the guest is saying, I have to be open-minded, to hear uh, also from the other people, that I will not only lead to what one perspective, but also different perspectives, so that by different ideas, a lot of inputs, I can make the podcast much more, better. And communicators is the one that suits me a lot because during the podcast process, we have to communicate a lot so that because it's talking, right? And the thing that the communicators that I use is about how to speak properly to the guests, because all the guests were actually above my age. So I need to talk to them in a very polite sentence so that I will make the guests to be more comfortable during recording the podcast. And the main thing is that because this is a very serious problem, uh, I will not offend anyone because my lack skill of communicators. I think that's all.
Yeah, and for the last topic that we're going to talk is what would you like to do differently? Because during the personal project, we know that we make a lot of mistake, and yeah, sometimes the mistake gets in our way and also challenges, and sometimes do the wrong we do the wrong way to overcome the challenges. Yeah. For me, mostly is fixing my time management and also trying to be more organized because, as you know, when I'm creating the roof garden, it's like very close to the timeline that I make. So I need to get in hurry, and after that, if I late like one day late about the timeline, the other schedule that I make could be changed. And also the the thing that I would do differently is about the cost because I kind of set the cost kind of too low, and I need to be more efficient. So when building the roof garden, I could use less material that has higher price. Yeah, that's all for me. But the thing that I would do differently. What about you, Adit?
Okay. As for me, one of them was most definitely I will manage my time more seriously. That is because if in the timeline, if I were to do one of my assignments late, then all the other assignments will be affected by that problem. So as an example for this was I was supposed to upload about 7 videos on YouTube. However, I was only able to upload 5 videos. So that is why I wanted to next time if I were to redo this project, I will have taken my time more seriously instead of procrastinating. So other than that, for my videos, I at the end of the video, I made this survey. It was called the post video survey. So my viewers could take the survey. They were asking whether questions about my video and whether it encouraged them to eat more healthy because that was my goal in this project. So from the results that I got, around 9 viewers were encouraged to eat more healthy. Maybe if I made my video more interesting, I could have encouraged more viewers, or if I promoted it more. And however, I believe I was still able to reach my goal because it impacted viewers to eat more healthy. Other than this, what I would have done differently was promote my YouTube channel more so I would get more views instead of just telling like my friend to watch it. So like next time I should promote it on my social media platforms also. Okay. I believe that is all for my what will I do differently. How about you, Arik?
Yeah. So if I have time to fix my mistake, I think that I will definitely fix the time management, time my time management skills because during making the podcast itself, I was in a kind of a rush. When my friend is already in the last step, I was only in the middle step, so I was kind of left behind with the others. So the first one is the time management skills, and then second is that uh, I want to set more affordable budget because I think that actually the cost for the podcast itself it's not that expensive. But uh, if I have a chance to fix the mistake, I will definitely set more super budget so that it's quite affordable. And then the next one is prepare more question because during several episodes, I only ask little question, and the reason why I have to prepare a new and more question is that because I can make the podcast to be more fun because I have a lot of things to ask and then to talk. And then lastly, in inviting more and fun guests, I think that by inviting a lot of influencers and celebrities to my podcast, it could make a great anchor for the podcast as it will easily attract the other viewers and outside to easily watch my podcast. And I think that's all for what will I do different. Back to you, Marza.
So I think that's all for now because unfortunately one of our member Izzat is unavailable to come today because he has other event. Yeah, I think that he make a video that will be play right now. Wait.
Okay, yeah. There there should be Isaac in this session, but unfortunately today Isaac could not attend, but he sent me a video presentation and I will share that video. Wait.
Hello guys, my name is Izzat and I'm from Cikal 10A, and today I will be presenting about my personal project, which is my book. So that's my book and that's the title. Everything starts with a little thing, and a closer look at mining industry. So the project goal and the global context of this project is to encourage young entrepreneurs to do a mining business by sharing my knowledge in a book. The global context is fairness and development with a strand of access to equal opportunities. Based on my goal, this project was meant to show young entrepreneurs about the mining business and why they should do it. The majority of young entrepreneurs haven't really shown an interest in this topic because this is not a very popular topic and they rather do something else. On the other hand, as a young person myself, I see this job as a great opportunity in business, especially for young entrepreneurs. And why is it challenging? Well, it's challenging for me. The challenge is to sell this book. I'm selling this to people where most of the people aren't really interested in knowing about this business, which means I need a good design for my book to catch my audience. So this is my planning and investigation. The stages, and as you can see, there's the do and the time that I finish it. And as you can see there, I have a trouble in managing my time. And this is some of the pictures when I do the investigation and planning. So the first two pictures here is a picture with my father and my brother when we came to his mine site, and we like observe and he would talk about his mining business and stuff. And this is the survey that I did for my investigation. And this is the product creation process. And there are the stages, of course. And there's the do and the time that I finish it, which is, well, I still have a problem for managing my time, which makes it a lot harder for me. And this is the criteria of success. Okay, and for the first criteria, the book has information about the process of mining, rock quality testing, and the marketing of the product. I got 7, 8, as you can see it. I highlighted with yellow, and for the others, I give a 5 and 6, 5 and 6. There's a 3, 4 because the book's only. I think there's 1, 2. I mean, the book only had 50 pages or lower, so I give it a 1, 2. The language is also 3 and 4, but other than that, it's 7 to 8. So the IB learners and skills that I develop as a communicator, I had meetings with my supervisor to discuss various topics throughout the project. I discussed the ideas for the final product, the interviews I did with the experts, and when I had to discuss with my editor about the content of my book, when I contacted my friends to promote my books and sell it, and also when I was creating the book. I need that skill to deliver my knowledge. Through a number of discussion I had during this project, I learned to be more open-minded, to be a more open-minded person. It made me consider new ideas, accepting advices and ideas from my supervisor and editor. This can be clearly seen when I finalize my product. I had a lot of discussion with both of my supervisor and editor. I had to be open-minded when some changes should be made, although the dummy of the book has been printed out. So thank you. I think that's all. But after this, there will be a Q&A session. Q&A session. But I'm sorry that I cannot attend that session. So before the Q&A session, before I end this, I want to give you all a piece of advice, which is like manage your time wisely, because it will make it so much easier if you are committed to your time schedule and you don't procrastinate. It will makes it so much easier. Believe me, I have the trouble on managing my time, and it makes it so much harder. And of course, there is my contact number, my email, and my school email if you want to contact me and ask me a few questions. But I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all. Like Izzat said, now it's the time for Q&A session. So if you have any questions, you could write it down on the YouTube chat. Yeah, and write down the name so we could know who you're asking to.
Marja,
Yes, Ari.
I think that we can, give some advice to the students that will attending their that will making their personal project next year.
Yeah, sure.
What is your advice for them?
For me, advice, yeah. Advice. The advice, like Izzat said, is the important advice is about time management, because the time management could affect all of your activities around you. And if you follow the time management and also the timeline correctly, you could do the project without any problem. I mean, like, yeah, you don't like have to rush out. And yeah, if you do the project like close from the due date, it could be the result could be not what you're expecting. Yeah, so maybe just make a timeline and a timetable, and also try to not miss the timeline. That's all. What about you, Adit? The advice?
The advice I would give is also to manage your time more wisely, because as Marja stated before, time management is very important during this project. Other than time management, another advice I would give is probably having a good relationship with your supervisors, because the supervisors helps you assess you a lot throughout this project, and they help you do what you need to do, and you can ask them if you don't know how to do the tasks that you were assigned to do. Okay, I believe that is all the advices I would give to the younger grades for personal project. How about you, Arik?
I think same with Adit and Marza, time management really play a big role in this personal project because you have to manage your time between your school, your personal project, and also for your pleasure or maybe your rights. But actually, if you manage your time wisely, since the first part of the personal project, you will not feel any difficulties during working on a personal project. And also, same as Adit, you have to maintain a very great contact with your supervisor because by maintaining a close relationship, the supervisor will definitely help you with your problem and making the problem more easier. I think we have a question on the comment, Marza Adit.
Oh, wait, I kind of forgot to add
Oh.
one more advice about
What
the
is it,
personal
Marza?
project, which is you must stay in contact with your supervisor. And yeah, so when you have kind of problem about your personal project, don't just leave your supervisor out left hanging. You just need to kind of keep contact if you have any problem. So your supervisor could give you an insight about the project.
Oh yeah, Marza Adit. I think that was very great, Mini. But we have a question in the comment section. First is from Ibu Dewi Winarningsi. I like gardening and I really want to have a rooftop garden to plant vegetables. It's inspiring and I want to watch the video of your project. Can I have the link?
Yes, wait, I'm trying to give you the link. So the video that I make it divided into two parts. It is part one when I'm trying to create the garden, and part two is basically it's the second part. Wait, it's taking too long. Yeah, I think I already given the link to the YouTube comment section.
Okay, thank you, Marza. And now we have also a question from Ibu Atika Shaharina, which is want to ask your solution on how you manage to find your way in removing all of the learning obstacle that you've experienced. Is there any ritual before you work? Perhaps I will start first. Yes, I think the solution to manage my time wisely is actually the one that really eliminate the obstacles. So before working, I have also a ritual which is by setting a calendar so that I will be more organized, especially on the time schedule. So I could divide my time very equally on the personal project itself, the time for my school projects, school works, and the remaining time for my rights. What about you, Adit?
As for me, as I said before, managing my time was one of the challenges. I got over this. Like the rituals I did before my work was having the timeline. The timeline that I made really helped me into managing my time properly. That is because the timeline consists of what I did all the way from the beginning of the project to the very end, which was submitting the report. And other than this, I also believe that my supervisor was very useful into managing my time properly. Okay, how about you, Marza?
I don't really do much about the removing the obstacle, but what I do is prioritize the important stuff that is on there, and so you need to decide which work you should do first and which work is more important. Yeah, just like that. Any more question?
Perhaps Marza, Adit, or probably me. Do you want to share your project in the Zoom?
Video.
Yes.
Ya.
Yes. You want to present any video for your project?
Oke, aku present video. Oke. Ini mau video siapa duluan nih?
Shall I go first?
Ya udah,
Oke.
kan kayak nggak usah full gitu edit ya.
Cukupkan aja, Dit.
Ya, biar patinya nggak gitu, kayak teaser aja palingan.
Okay, so where's the share? Okay. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, I
Yeah.
could see it.
So this is one of my videos. It was called the cucumber and tuna salad tutorial. So as you can see, in the beginning, I put the ingredients you need. That way, my viewers know what they need to prepare before they watch the video. So as you can see, it's what kind of tuna, yeah, and all the ingredients. So in the beginning, I put the preview of what the final product looks like. This is the tutorial. Okay, so as you can see at the ending, I put the nutritional facts, and those were one of my shorter videos. As you can see, this was 3 minutes, and yeah, I tend to keep my videos short so people will not get bored of it. If like, I maintain it under like about 5 minutes if can. Most of my videos are under 5 minutes. Okay, what about your one, Marza?
Yeah, I'm going to share the short video. Wait. Yeah, can you see the screen? Wait, can you see the video? Yeah, as you can see, I'm putting the layers of the protein, which is the geomembrane and also the green cells. Yeah, so on the part one of the video, it's basically just putting the layers first, yeah. And the second part of the videos is when I'm trying to put the grass and the plant. Wait, let me just skip now. Wait. as you can see, I'm putting the soil into the geotextile, and I had a little help from. I think that's all from my sharing. Wait. Nah, Arik, you can share your video.
We'll skip the drugs part.
Arik, itu apa? Nggak ada suaranya, Arik, videonya.
I will just explain. So here is the first episode with a comedian named Abdul Ahrian, and he is also have a contribution before with drugs abuse. And the first episode is about I'm asking what is his experience about the drugs when he used the drugs itself. What is the positive? What is the negative? And then what did you feel the worst? How do you overcome the problem? How does your family support your problem with the drug abuse? And I think that this episode really has really make me proud because I have 707 views in only a week, and I think that is also a big achievement for me. So if you want to watch the full video, just go to Today Podcast, like this Today Podcast, and don't forget to subscribe and like, comment, and subscribe. So.
Okay, nah.
Yeah, I think our time is up because it's already been 1 hour. And thank you everyone for coming to this show. And if you have further question, you could just email us or maybe ask us. I'll put my email on the YouTube chat if you have any question. If you have further question.
Okay. Let's give a virtual applause for those students. Thank you, Marza, Arik, Adit, and Izzat in the video for your amazing session. It's great to see the wonderful talents of our students and what they have learned to our virtual classroom. So if you have any question for Adit, you can find the YouTube channel Adit Ersan. Yeah, for cooking or creating rooftop garden, you can find Marza Merdias. And the last Today podcast for Arik personal project. Okay, Lastly, I would like to say thanks to audience here today and fellow student, proud parents, and also respected teacher. Oh, thank you. Good afternoon and see you.
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. See you.
everyone.